That's My Baby is really very cute and rather good fun. This is the 16th episode of the first season of the Looney Tunes show, and we have two parts to the narrative, so there will probably be some spoilers from now as I talk about what happens. I won't go into a tremendous amount of detail, but I will discuss a little bit about what happens and share some thoughts. So we have part of the story focusing on Daffy, the main part, and we also have part of the story focusing on Bugs and Porky Pig. And Bugs is teaching Porky Pig the difference between upselling and a genuine good offer. To give examples from the cartoon, Bugs is trying to convince Porky Pig that certain things in a restaurant are definitely being upsold, whereas getting insurance isn't really upselling. That's a genuine good decision, a good financial decision. And Porky Pig is kind of struggling to get to grips with this, and he's not necessarily making the right decisions. And I thought it was a really decent part of the story. It sounds dry. I realise the way I say that it does sound kind of boring, but it's not. It's not stale in the slightest, and also really educational. I think it can help people to learn the difference between when somebody is trying to upsell you something you really don't need, and when actually, such as with insurance, sometimes it can be a sensible financial decision. So I liked that. And I really liked Bugs and Porky interacting. I really liked Porky in this. So definitely part of the episode that I enjoyed. And I also loved the part with Daffy, because Tina is looking after her nephew, a little baby duck, and I loved the first scene where Daffy meets the baby is absolutely brilliant. He doesn't realise that it's Tina's nephew to begin with. And unfortunately, Tina has to work, so she doesn't have anybody to watch her nephew. So Daffy ends up looking after the baby duck. And he's not exactly familiar with how to take care of a baby. But to his credit, he does try. And he goes to a parent and baby class or activity group. And it's really, really sweet. Both because the baby is absolutely adorable, but it's also really lovely to see Daffy starting to bond with the baby and getting to grips with being an honorary father for the day, and I rather liked it. I thought it was a really fun story. Definitely helps to show a kind of different side to Daffy Duck as well. It's not a situation we frequently see Daffy in, and I thought that worked really well. We get to meet a lot of characters. There are a lot of human characters in this, which doesn't happen too often with Looney Tunes shows, so that was quite different, particularly when we saw all of the babies, the human babies, in the baby class, and then there was just Daffy with the baby duck, and it was really interesting, and definitely a narrative that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I love Daffy Duck, so I was always going to enjoy bits of it. I wasn't really sure what direction they were taking with this once we initially met the baby, but I think everything worked out really well. A fun concept, well executed, some really great characters, and the animation is an absolute delight as well. And it gets quite intense at one point. It gets quite dramatic with Daffy and the baby, but I won't say any more than that. But I thought this was a decent story. In fact, the episode as a whole, both in terms of the story with Daffy and with Porky and Bugs, I think everything worked well. The editing was really good. The animation is great. Definitely an episode that I enjoyed, and one that I think I wouldn't mind watching again, actually. And I'm certainly very happy to recommend it.